Good morning and welcome to our School of Rock this morning. This morning we're going to sing about how amazing our God is. We're going to learn about the things that he can do for us and how God heals and how Jesus in the Bible healed people and how he still heals today. We're going to learn about God's love and we're going to learn that he wants us to live well and live blessed. So I hope that you enjoy all of our School of Rock this morning.
Hi School of Rock, we miss you all so much. We're going to start this week off by doing God of Wow, so jump off your sofa and join in. Don't forget though, on the exclamation point, I want you to give me a big huh on the point. Okay, let's go.
You have no birthday, you have always been. You alone have no beginning and no middle and no end. You're always with me, you are everywhere. In New Jersey or in Egypt, even outer space, you're there. Everything you are and do is unbelievable but true. You're the God of wow, amazing, how could this be? You're the God of whoa, you're more than I could ever dream. The more I learn about you, exclamation points abound to the God of wow. You're never needy, how could you be? You made everything on earth and in the sky and in the sea. You're never lonely, the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Yet you're reaching out to me, inviting me to come to you. Inconceivable but true. You're the God of wow, amazing, how could this be? You're the God of whoa, you're more than I could ever dream. The more I learn about you, exclamation points abound to the God of wow. I can't find the words that could be big enough, loud enough. There could be no song that I could sing enough or shout enough when I want to praise your name, but don't know how. I just say, wow, amazing, how could this be? And I say, wow, you're more than I could ever dream. The God of wow, amazing, how could this be? You're the God of wow, you're more than I could ever dream. The more I learn about you, exclamation points abound to the God of wow. Designer of the dinosaurs, mapper of the ocean floor, of all the wilds below above. The best of all is your great love. You're the God of wow.
Good morning. This morning we're going to have a story from the Bible, and it's a story that's found in Matthew, Mark and Luke, and it's all about Jesus and how he healed a lady and a little girl. So this first picture that you can see is of Jesus landing in Galilee, and he got to Galilee by boat, and there were lots of people waiting to meet him because everyone wanted to see Jesus. So everybody had been talking about him and wanted to meet him. A man called Jairus came running up to Jesus and fell down at his feet and begged him to come to his home and heal his 12-year-old daughter who was dying. Jairus' daughter was very poorly, and if Jesus didn't come and heal her, then she would die. As Jesus began to follow Jairus to his house, a big crowd followed him, and they pressed against him and made it very, very difficult for him to move around. Can you see all of the people in the picture moving close to where Jesus was? Then a lady who'd been poorly for a long time and couldn't get better tried to reach Jesus. She believed that if she touched him at the edge of his clothes, then he would make her better. She didn't even think that she'd got to speak to him, just if she touched him. It was hard for the lady to get through. She pushed and shoved her way through the crowd, and finally she did. As soon as she touched Jesus, she was completely healed. Everything that was wrong with her was made better at that time. But Jesus knew straight away that someone had touched him. And when the woman said that it was her, he smiled and said to her, "Daughter, don't be afraid. Your faith has made you well. Go in peace." I think that she thought she was going to be in trouble for touching Jesus and taking his power without asking him for it. But he wasn't angry with her at all. As Jesus said these words, a man came from the home of Jairus and told him that his daughter had died. When Jesus heard this, he turned to Jairus and said to him, "Don't be afraid, only believe your daughter will be well." When they arrived at Jairus' house, everyone was crying. Jesus made all the people go away. Then he took the girl's parents and his disciples up to the room where she was laying. In those days, if somebody had died, lots of people came to the house and cried really loudly to let everybody know that somebody had died. So when Jesus got close to the house, he would have known straight away by the amount of people that were there. But Jesus didn't want to perform his miracle in front of all of those people. He took Jairus and his wife upstairs to the room where his daughter was. And he took the child by the hand and said to her, "Little girl, I say to you, get up." And at once the little girl came back to life, and everyone was amazed. Then Jesus told her mother and father to give her something to eat. Everyone was so happy. Jesus had got God's power to raise people from the dead. This morning we're going to have a little think about this and have a think about what sort of things would people have been thinking and feeling during this story. Why do you think Jairus went to Jesus? Do you think he went to him because he'd heard he was a good man? Or do you think he went to him because he believed that Jesus could heal his daughter? Do you think that he would have been desperate for somebody to come and save his little girl? And how about the lady in the crowd? Why do you think she wanted to touch Jesus? Do you think it was just because she liked him and wanted to feel his garments? Or do you think she really believed that Jesus could heal her just by her touching him? I wonder how Jairus would have felt as Jesus spoke to the other woman. I wonder if Jairus would have been annoyed that Jesus was healing the woman when his daughter was at home dying. And then when Jairus had somebody come to tell him that his daughter had died, what do you think Jesus said to Jairus? But we know that all of these things happened because they were just exactly what Jesus wanted to teach them. He wanted to teach people that he had got the power to heal, and he'd got the power to bring people back from the dead. And today, we too need to realise that Jesus has got this same power, that he can heal and he can bring people back to life. We don't see that very much, but there are stories about people who've been brought back to life because somebody has prayed for them. And we believe that Jesus still does the same today that he did in the stories that we read in the Bible.
I hope you enjoyed that story. We're going to sing Your Love. I know it's one of your favourites, so jump up and let's sing.
Your love will last forever. It's like a mighty river that flows and flows forever, never stopping. Your awesome love protects me. When I sin, your love corrects me. You're faithful to direct me always to your love. And when I think of all you've done, there's no love greater than this. You freely gave your precious son to die for all my sins. Your love will last forever. It's like a mighty river that flows and flows forever, never stopping. Your awesome love protects me. When I sin, your love corrects me. You're faithful to direct me always to your love. And when I choose to disobey, you lead me back to your truth. You show the fullness of your love by making me like you. Your love will last forever. It's like a mighty river that flows and flows forever, never stopping. Your awesome love protects me. When I sin, your love corrects me. You're faithful to direct me always to your love.
This morning we're going to do a memory verse that goes along with our story. And our memory verse is taken from a book in the Bible called Mark. And here it is. So here's our picture of our person. And we're going to put our words on with plasters, so to show that our person is getting better. So here's our first plaster. You took. Here's our next plaster. You took a risk of faith. So we've got you took a risk of faith. And now you are. So we've got 4 plasters on already. You took a risk of faith and now you are healed. Here's our next plaster, healed and whole. Ready to do that again? So you took a risk of faith and now you are healed and whole. Live well. And our last one says live blessed. And it's found in Mark chapter 5 verse 34. So this week I want you to learn our plasters. You took a risk of faith and now you are healed and whole. Live well, live blessed. Mark 5:34. And this week we want you to live well and live blessed.